Hi, and welcome to the WHYcast, episode 13. I'm Nancy,
Hi, Matt.
and we are the hosts of the only podcast about a hacker camp in the universe. This volunteer-run event will take place next year, for now, in the
hmm
Netherlands, approximately 42 kilometers above Amsterdam from August 8th to 12th, 2025. So, Ad, what are we talking about today?
Well, people probably start to realize that we have a script with a few regular items, and this one is no different. So we'll be diving into some news. We'll
Mm-hmm.
be looking to see where we can find why-minded people. We have another cool story with Walter. We have an interview that was recorded last Saturday, and we'll get into that a bit more in the news. We have the vacancy of the week, and we have listener questions. So, first of all, let's start off with the news.
Yes, we were in Amersfoort last
Yes,
Saturday.
yes,
The
we were a bit later.
in-person Orga
Yeah,
meet. Yep.
it was
Uh,
very cool from the guys from Bitlayer to
host
provide
us.
us with their awesome space. It's a new space. It's really cool. They have nice rooms and also a whole bunch of very cool stuff there. And they were printing tiaras live while we were recording interviews for the WHYcast. So
More tiaras!
more tiaras. Link in the show notes to the STL file so you can print your own.
They
Um,
actually were glow in the dark as well, and all kinds of different colors. So we will bring a bunch of those as well to a camp we are or a congress that we are going to soon. More about that later.
yes. So first of all, what did we do at this in-person Orga meet? Well, obviously, say hi to each other because now we finally saw each other in real life instead of only on the screen,
Hmm.
which is always very cool. I mean, having the big Orga meetings on the ITSE, as well as all the teams having their own little meetings, is really effective. But being together in one great room and speaking to each other is even more fun. And it has resulted in lots of decisions and quick discussions being done, decisions being made, and new volunteers welcomed because we
Yes.
got new volunteers showing up there, which was really awesome. So it was a very fun and functional meetup. We had a nice meal together, nice drink together, and well, thanks again to BitLayer for having the entire Y Orga.
I asked Henry because he's good with numbers. He's team finance. If he
hmm
could count the people, so he did. There were 70 people there. Uh, well, at the moment of counting, 67, but then more people showed up, so it's approximately 70 people again.
Yep.
So it's truly, truly amazing to see that so many people are working on creating the best camp ever. That's very cool. And what's
hmm
also one of the team production house made sure that the team updates and the introduction by Crystal was recorded and already put live on media.ccc.de.
Yes.
Uh, so you can find the at least that part of the meeting online there as well. We will share the link in the show notes.
Yeah.
So you can hear all about the updates from the different teams who were there.
So now
Uh,
that you mentioned CCC, brings us nicely into the next item on the list.
yeah, because during CCC, which is from the 27th till the 30th of December, we will have a raffle. So if you buy a Y2025 ticket during the last days of December, because we'll just sneak in the 31st as well, you can win one of the two hoodies
Ooh,
that we are going to hand out to two people that buy a ticket during that period. So if you buy your Y ticket during CCC, you can win a hoodie.
cool. I,
Yes.
I I want a hoodie too, but I already have a ticket. Never mind.
Yep. I will give you a hoodie. You'll be fine.
Cool. Merch store will be opening fairly soon, I think. But
Yeah,
stay tuned, and
we're
we'll
still staggering a bit around prices and what to and what kind of merch we do, we don't want. So almost there. Work in progress discussions are going on within Team PL. So stay tuned. Merch will be
Stay tuned to
available
the
soon.
WHYcast. Yep, and keep an eye on the socials. Also for what you need to do exactly to enter the raffle for the CCC. And with that, do we do the where to hack?
Each week, we will share where you can find why-minded people, where to hack.
Well, it shall
Well,
be no surprise.
right?
Where will you find why-minded people at Congress?
I know a lot of why-minded people will go there. I know NetSmurf is going there. Well, I know a lot of people from the Orga as well that are going there. Also, of course, we will make use of the Angel system there, so we will do some shifts to make that event a big success as well. Uh, and I'm planning to make a CCC themed episode for the first new episode in the new year, which is the January 3rd.
Mhm.
So if you see me running around and would like to be in the CCC episode of the WHYcast, please reach out to me and we'll find a nice spot to record an interview or maybe a great story to tell or something like that.
Yep, always cool to hear what you're doing at why, or what you did at previous camps, or why people should visit these camps in general. I mean, could also be a cool story from Congress or camp.
Yeah,
Yep, definitely, definitely. Really cool. So, why-minded people at CCC.
absolutely.
And
It's the
speaking of cool stories for previous camps, we do have another history lesson with Walter. Each episode will be diving into a piece of history, something special from the predecessors of WHY2025. So that could be from the Galactic Hacker Party from 1989, Hackers at the End of the Universe from 93, Hacking in Progress 97, Hackers at Large 2001, What the Hack 2005, Hacking at Random 2009, Observe Hack Make 2013, Still Hacking Anyways 2017, May Contain Hackers from 2021, no, COVID happened, so that became May Contain Hackers 2022.
So back with us again is Walter with some more stories from the past,
Yep.
stories from an 80s hacker. So Walter, what camp are we talking about today?
We are talking about SHA, still hacking anyway, in 2017 in Zeewolde.
Yes.
So I was
Something
involved
happened.
again as well.
Can you
Anybody
keep
who's
it
there.
closer to the cam? You're showing some. Yes, I have that one as well.
I see an angel badge, a press
I was
badge,
also doing press, and I was also
and a speaker badge.
Speaker.
Slightly higher, please.
Oh, sorry.
There. Yes. Excellent.
Yeah, I did some talks at this camp as well about physical security, which was nice.
Cyber Angel. Sorry.
That's very cool and awesome. Yeah, so it was a cool Zeewolde, a cool terrain with a harbor there, and what press wise was interesting was the physical things that you could hack. So there was this fire truck that you also did a thing
Yep.
about, but also a guy from Belgium, I believe, who took a Tesla car to be hacked, and in one of the earliest episodes we did about the Heu, I was talking about this horrible food that they had over there. But I remember from SHA that the food was really fantastic for the volunteers. If you are a volunteer and you do actual work during the build up, you get food during the day. And the caterer was fantastic. It was also vegan, but it was really super.
We will have the same caterer next edition
Cool.
because
Yeah.
it's crazy good food.
Yeah, it was super. And I think SHA for me was the first event where there were these huge villages. I mean, the concept of villages had been there before, but this was taken over the top the first time at SHA, where you had these villages with the Finns and the Italians and also different interest groups. And and they all brought their stuff. The Finns had a huge sauna that they brought with them. I don't know how they got it transported. And then the Italians had a big pizza oven, and they were making pizzas for everybody. yeah, that was cool. It was really a very nice event to just walk over the terrain and see what was happening, and then you would see somebody. There was a lockpick tent, and then there was people doing food hacking, and then this was going on, that was going on. So and to me, it had a bit of a. I've never been to Lowlands, but I have the idea that's a bit of a Lowlands feel where you're just in the happy flow. Um, Everybody is helpful, and there's lots of stuff to do.
Yeah, because by now the camp has grown to be about 3,300 people.
Yeah. Good.
So it's not like we have a bunch of friends and a couple of tents. This is seriously big. There's a village in the middle of nowhere on a few grassy fields, and for a week there's a hacker village. There's a town with all the facilities that you need, including a ridiculously fast internet. And the fire department that we discussed in episode 4. There's a history lesson in episode 4, so you can look back at that. Yeah. And I think 3 big podia and a lot of workshops and little lecture halls here and there and everywhere. Yeah, but you mentioned lockpicking. Were you already involved in the lockpicking village yourself?
Yeah, I've been the president of Tool for many years. I was a member of Tool. I became a member in 1997. Actually, I went into lockpicking because I read about it in an article from The Key, who was doing a lockpicking workshop at the first event, first outdoor event. But I only opened my first lock in 1997 at the HIP event, where they had just started the German lockpicking group then. That started in 1996. And they had a big tent in 1997 at HIP, where people could try and open locks. I succeeded, and people with me also succeeded. And that was the start of a Dutch lockpicking group, Tool, that was founded in 1997 after HIP. And we have had our own tent, not every event, but there was one event, I think it was probably Ohm, where we had a tent, but we didn't really have people to man the tent, or it might have been Shah. So we had a tent, but there was not much going on there, and we fixed that at MCH, but we'll talk about that another time. What I also did was, just as with the previous event, I was involved in radio, then it was called Binary Voice. So again, I did a graveyard shift, 4 nights of radio in the wee hours of the night, which was fun. The radio was quite central in the field, and I talked about this when I talked about when I talked about joining hands with an event that came after us. So also in this case, there was an event going on before or after us, which was the Jamboree, I believe. Scouts were there. Mm-hmm. We talked with them, and what struck me was that apparently the guards, the security guards of the Jamboree said that they had a lot of work at the Jamboree trying to stop fights and deal with incidents or improper conduct or whatever. And they were these. That
was just before the Shah event.
It was just before. That's probably why they were still there hanging around, and they were really amazed to hear that we had so few people in security walking around. But yeah, it shows that it doesn't need that much security. If you give everybody the responsibility themselves, it can turn out very well, even with over 3,000 people on site. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and we also had, it was a nice terrain with some places where you had water, some woodland, some grassland, and we had this huge family terrain, and then the harbor. Yeah, it was a very nice setup there.
Yeah, I think it's the power of having a volunteer-driven event where pretty much everyone who is attending the event also has their own input into the event, and that makes it your own event as well.
Yeah, but it's getting a bit harder with the sheer number of people coming in. There will be people who think, well, I'm just here to consume, so let me have it. But of course, there are so many people walking around that are really have a hacker ethic and want to cooperate and learn from each other. That if that's a majority, you will influence these people to also start to cooperate, and that works really well.
I
Definitely.
think so as well. There were also a lot of interesting whistleblowers. I recall from that time because I was a herald at that camp. A herald is someone who announces speakers. And well, all of the talks can be viewed back, of course, but I highly recommend people to watch these talks as well. It's from people from the NSA and CIA. It was really, really interesting to see and to hear those stories as well. Yeah.
And of course, I'll show you a picture. IAC Manduka, who you will be interviewing later,
Yeah.
hopefully. But there was also a shift going on. At the first events, we had Jolt Cola. And I remember still at the Hull, we had people selling Jolt Cola, which is an American cola with a lot of caffeine in it. So that was really the hackers' drink of choice. And for some reason, I still don't know what really made this change happen, is that everybody suddenly went to drink Club Mate. So here you see, I have a picture here of a big truck with Club Mate being delivered to the bar at Sha.
And that is still a thing.
And that is still a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really like Club Mate, but yeah, maybe
Me
it's an
either.
acquired taste. And here's a picture for the people watching this of the food that we had, which was wonderful. Wonderful food this time. So it's good to hear that they will be back for Why.
Yeah. Shout out to Mecklenburg again. Yeah. Very cool. I said it again.
And you can actually still watch a lot of the talks on the YouTube channel, because the WHY2025 YouTube channel used to be the WHY2017 YouTube channel. So all the videos are still there. So if you want to watch the talk about whistleblowers and how safe they were at the different times at the different events, I think you can still look those up.
And all the videos from older camps are at Media CCC. I don't know the exact URLs, but we will share it in the show notes as well.
It's
because
media.ccc, I think. Actually.
That's it. Oh, okay. Thanks.
.de.
Well, I think that was almost the final episode of History Lessons with Walter. Nicely planned, actually, because the last one then will be also the last episode of this year.
Yep.
So we'll listen to his MCH stories next episode. And one of the people who also decided to join a team last Saturday, although he has been working very hard behind the scenes in IFCAT, is Robert, or number 3, which is his nick. And I asked him, can you tell a little bit about what's going on today at Live Organ Meets? So he's telling a little bit about that. So we are here today in Amersfoort. Very important.
Yeah.
It's Amersfoort.
Amersfoort.
At WHYday. And here with us today is Robert, aka number 3. And I would love to ask you, because you've been here all afternoon and working on team info things, can you tell a little bit about the Live Organ Meet? What happens this day?
Wow, yeah. So we started on time, not. So that's the first thing.
We ended on time, by the way.
Early. So that's a good thing. Not all 42 teams actually took their minute, so it didn't take 3/4 of an hour.
Yeah.
So we opened the meeting, and Boekenworm actually shared updates from PL, and I was transcribing everything. So during the session, so we have minutes as well, so you can go to the wiki, and read what happened. But also you can go and look at the video somewhere. What was that?
Yeah, I just heard from Bix, who is from Team Productiehuis, that the recording of this afternoon is actually available already at CCC.
Media.ccc.de.
This is why I always need the influencer with me, because I tend to forget URLs.
Link in the show notes.
Link is in the show notes. So you can actually view that back. But okay, what do you think about the atmosphere? What's going
the
on
atmosphere is really Christmassy.
Because we all have the
Christmas T-shirts,
the Christmas
shirts, sweaters. And yeah, it's really buzzing in the room because I think all the teams are talking to each other. It's only, what is it, 200 days or something before the event now?
I know.
So people are getting ready to get their stuff together. And I joined Team Info today. Woohoo! So I'll have to help them out as well. And I think a lot of teams are talking more about the details in the last couple of events. So I think that's really good.
And I also saw a lot of new people who are not volunteering yet, but joining in today to figure out.
And two new volunteers that were here for the first time because they watched WHYcast.
The WHYcast. Shout out to Marjolein and Jasper. Woohoo!
Yeah. And they came here to pick up the atmosphere, and they're going to help team volunteers, I think. So I think a lot of that stuff is going on where people are actually meeting in real life and talking to each other. I think that's really good to have that on an event like this, in the prep to the event even.
Absolutely. I asked Henry, who is head of team finance, to count the room because he's good at
counting.
He's our own count. At the point of counting, but more people joined later. It was 66 people already.
Wow.
So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty vast amount of people who are working on creating.
And they're still, I mean, it's 7 o'clock almost, and they're still talking. So I see a lot of people figuring out the details between the different teams, like Synthrain and Team Bar and Food, where stuff is being set up. And listening to the buzz, it's really good at this point. So
very nice. One of the things that I always, that I also like a lot is the fact that you always bring your son.
Yep.
As well. So
ever since he was like this big. So.
Yeah, it's like, so we tend to give shout outs to Team Family Village as well. Team Family. That's it's a very cool event to enjoy with the whole family.
You can. I brought him when he was this big, and and now he's larger than me. So, but he's still here.
Yeah.
And he's now joining to help in Orca. So that's good.
That's very nice. Yeah.
Start them young.
Start them young, yeah, because we tend to get a little bit grayer lately in the last decennia.
Yeah, he was complaining that there was not a lot of young people in the volunteering. So he said, well, there's not many that are 21 at this point. I'm like, well, tell me how to get that better, and we'll go and fix it.
We'll try and find them. Yep. Yeah, because I think it's a very open and warm community, and well, this was a great afternoon. Is there anything else that stood out to you this afternoon? And no is an answer, of course, but it's something that you saw happening with the volunteers.
I saw some cyber stickers coming along.
Cyber stickers?
Yeah. I think we'll see that a lot next year. Around
in many
the thousands.
Colors.
Yeah, many colors as well. So that was one thing and the fact that we're at this new BitLayer location.
Oh yes.
I love it. It's a beautiful location.
It's very nice.
More spacey. They have different rooms. So I think that was really good that BitLayer could have us as a Y Orca team.
Shout out to BitLayer. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I think that helps a lot. And the other thing, I talked to permits, and they're really getting ready to get the permits ready. So I think that was important because we need to get there.
I know.
It's one of those things that we need to get done before the event.
Yeah.
Long before.
So. Yeah. So good to hear.
Yeah.
So you had a lovely afternoon.
I had a great afternoon.
All the volunteers here, and you can find out more if you follow the links in the show notes to get a taste of what happened today.
Yep.
Very good. Thank you so much, Robert.
No problem.
And, thanks also for all the effort you are putting in to make this a great event.
Yeah, let's keep up the work.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, it's always great to have great help like Robert on your team and in the organization.
And bringing in his offspring to join in as well. It's also a nice thing to do. Yeah.
Team Info family. Yeah.
What is the vacancy of the week this week?
This week we'll be looking at Team Party Area, and that is a that's a fun area to be. They still look for some people who could help with stage building, with audio, video, lighting. So build up, tear down on the stage, and perhaps during the event. But for the more details, just should contact them. The contact information is on the wiki. So if you go to wiki.why2025.org, you'll get a link to Team Party Area.
And last Saturday, I also spoke to someone who is making sure that in the bar area, in one of the bars, there will be karaoke. So
Yes.
there's actually someone taking care of that as well. It will be Y themed karaoke, so all the songs with Y in it.
That we can't play on here because it's content matches and stuff, but
right.
just to come and sing them.
Yep, me happy karaoke always makes me happy. So, and I know a lot of other people hate it, but I know there are a lot of karaoke lovers as well.
Yes.
So, much party going on.
Yes, and this is both in preparation, but probably also people at build up, maybe even during the event. And that leads me into the messages from listeners, because I got a question about the angel system. So in short,
what is it?
We should probably do a bit of a deep dive later, but in short, it's a system that lists a lot of tasks, not even that difficult usually, that
Shifts.
need to be done. Could be helping out with audio or video, pointing a camera at the person on the stage. Could be just helping in the parking lot with people parking somewhat decently. It could be helping
Pouring
out
coffee at the bar.
Pouring coffee at the bar, sitting at the info desk, and there's a gazillion things to do. Helping in the kitchen, from preparing food to washing the dishes, whatever. And at some camps, it's considered mandatory to do a shift. It's not for Y, at least it wasn't for MCH. It wasn't for the previous camp, so I'm pretty sure it won't be mandatory. It's much appreciated, of course. And if you do a volunteer shift or two on a day, you get food as a reward. I mean, not only the warm fuzzy feeling inside of adding to the camp,
and
but also
probably
some food.
something like a cool T-shirt that you volunteered.
That as
Team
well,
Volunteers is working on that right now to make sure that yeah.
So the Angel system in general is all of that, and there's also a web page with a database behind there, so you can just look at what shifts are still needed, and then you can write yourself onto one of the shifts and do your thing. It's a very cool way to also be a little bit of a part of the event without spending a year in advance organizing stuff.
Yeah.
Like some people like to do. It's just a way to get there and say, okay, I have 5 days over here. I'll do shifts on 3 of the days, and then just 2 other days I'll just only indulge
Enjoy the camp.
in the camp. Yep. Or some people do it every day. It's only a couple of hours.
Are helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only a couple of hours. It's not like you spend the entire day doing stuff. No, it's just a few hours. And if everybody does a little bit, together we have an awesome camp.
Meet new people, get a warm and fuzzy feeling, and get food for it. I mean, what's not to like?
Exactly. So that's the Angel system in short. And if you want to hear more, let me know. Put a comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube, or send us an email at WHY2025.org with your questions, with your remarks, with your comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because I think that's what you're supposed to do on socials every time. And
ring the bell, blah blah blah. I don't know,
stuff like that. So thank you for
I don't know.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking with us to the end of this episode of the WHYcast, and we'll be back next Friday, because every Friday is a Y day.
And we forgot the great holiday season. Have fun, people!
It's time for holidays. Yes.